Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome and welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is a show where we discuss everything money. I'm your host, and I'm going to be teaching you 5 money habits that are keeping you broke. Now, if you stay with me all the way to the end of this video, I will share with you my #1 money tip. So make sure that you leave a like for this video. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future uploads. And now let's get right into it. #1, living above your means. Now we've been conditioned by society to want more than what we have. And this mentality causes us to buy things that we really don't need, especially if it's on sale, or if it's something that we see our friends or colleagues with. This habit keeps you broke because you're spending more money than what you earn. As a result, you're constantly living paycheck to paycheck with no additional money left over for savings or investments. In addition, when you live above your means, you'll likely have credit card debt, store cards, maybe even payday loans. These high interest rate debts eat away at your monthly income, and they prevent you from growing your wealth. You see, when you live above your means, you become a slave to your lifestyle. There are 3 ways that you can stop living above your means. No. 1. Track your spending. If you don't know how much you're spending on housing, transportation, food, and entertainment, then you don't know where your money is going. Write down every single expense for the month so that you know exactly where your money is being spent. Once you see your spending pattern, you can cut back on unnecessary expenses so that you can save money. No. 2. Reduce your housing costs. Your housing is probably your biggest expense. Therefore, reducing your housing costs is the quickest way to free up your cash flow. You can do this by getting a roommate, moving to a cheaper area, or selling your home and buying a less expensive one. And 3, consider downsizing your vehicle. The average car payment in America is about $560 per month. If you have an outstanding car loan, you may want to consider paying it off as soon as possible. Additionally, if you don't need a car for work or other necessities, you could sell it and use public transportation instead. No. 2. Not having an emergency fund. Having an emergency fund is essential to your financial well-being. It can help you avoid going into debt when unexpected expenses arise. But most people don't have one. In fact, 64% of Americans couldn't cover a $500 emergency with their savings. When you don't have an emergency fund and something goes wrong, such as your water heater breaks or your child needs braces, you'll be forced to borrow money from family or friends, or you might have to take out a loan or use a credit card to pay for it. Not only does this put you in debt, but it also adds stress to your life. The best way to build an emergency fund is to start small. Set aside $5 or $10 every week until you have enough money to cover 1 month of living expenses. Once you have 1 month of expenses saved, continue saving until you have 3 to 6 months saved. Then whenever something goes wrong, you won't have to worry about it because you know that you have money set aside to take care of it. No. 3. Not investing. One of the best ways to grow your wealth is to invest your money. When you invest, you essentially lending money to a company or government with the expectation that you'll get back more money than you invested. There are many different types of investments, including stocks, bonds, and real estate. And each investment has its own level of risk and potential return. For example, stocks are considered to be a high-risk, high-reward investment. On the other hand, bonds are considered to be a low-risk, low-reward investment. Real estate is another popular investment option. And one of the benefits of investing in real estate is that you can often get a tax deduction on the mortgage interest. It is important to remember that all investments carry some level of risk, and there is no guarantee that you will make money. However, if you're willing to take on some risk, investing can be a great way to grow your wealth over time. One of the reasons why people do and invest is because they think that they need a lot of money to get started. However, this is not true. You can actually start investing with very little money. For example, you can invest in stocks with as little as $5. Additionally, There are many different investment platforms that allow you to invest in real estate with little to no money down. Another reason why people don't invest is because they're afraid of losing money. However, it's important to remember that all investments carry some level of risk, and that's okay. Don't let fear stop you from investing. Just be sure to do your research and only invest money that you can afford to lose. No 4. Not having multiple streams of income. Having multiple streams of income is a great way to increase your earnings potential and provide financial stability. Most people rely on a single income from their job or business, which can be risky since if you lose your job or your business fails, you'll also lose your income. However, if you have multiple streams of income coming from different sources, you'll be able to make up for any loss in one area with income from another. Additionally, having multiple streams of income can help you save and invest more money since you have more money coming in than you have expenses. Here are 3 ways that you can start generating multiple streams of income. No. 1. Start a side hustle. A side hustle is a great way to make extra money without quitting your day job. There are many different side hustles that you can start, such as dog walking, house cleaning, or starting a blog or YouTube channel. Number 2. Invest in dividend stocks. Dividend stocks are a great way to generate passive income. When you buy a share of a dividend stock, you're essentially buying a small piece of ownership in that company. And as a shareholder, you're entitled to a portion of the company's profits. Some popular dividend stocks include Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, and ExxonMobil. And no 3 rent out a spare room. If you have a spare bedroom in your house, you can rent it out to a tenant to generate additional income. You can find tenants by putting an ad on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. Additionally, you could list your spare room on Airbnb if you're willing to rent it out on a short-term basis. Number 5. Relying on one source of income. Similar to the last point, relying on just one source of income is a major money mistake. If you lose that income source, you'll be left without any money coming in. Additionally, relying on a single income source can cause you to feel stressed and anxious about money, since you know that if you lose your job, you could potentially become homeless. Diversifying your income sources can help you reduce your financial stress and provide you with more financial stability. Here are 4 ways that you can diversify your income sources. Number 1, get a second job. Working a second job is one of the fastest ways to increase your income. You can work in a variety of fields, such as retail, food service, or security. You could also work remotely as a virtual assistant, customer service representative, or online tutor. No. 2. Monetize your hobbies. Do you enjoy writing, photography, or video editing? You can monetize your hobbies by turning them into a side hustle. For example, you could start a blog or YouTube channel and earn money from ads or sponsorships. Or you could sell your photos online on websites like Shutterstock or iStock Photo. No. 3. Ask for a raise. If you've been working at your current job for a while, it might be time to ask for a raise. Be sure to negotiate for the highest salary that you can get. And if your employer is unwilling to pay you more, you may want to start looking for a new job with a higher salary. No. 4. Create and sell online courses. Creating and selling online courses is a great way to share your knowledge and experience while making money. You can teach almost anything through an online course, such as cooking, fitness, or personal finance. There are many different platforms that you can use to create and sell your online courses, such as Teachable and Thinkific. My number 1 tip for making money is to educate yourself about personal finance. When I first started learning about personal finance, I was shocked at how little most people know about managing their money. Many people spend years in school learning about history, math, and science, but they never learn about personal finance. As a result, they graduate with a degree in a useless subject, and they struggle to make ends meet financially. That's why I created this channel. My goal is to help as many people as possible learn about personal finance so that they can improve their financial situation. I cover a variety of topics on my channel, including budgeting, saving, investing, and making money. If you're interested in learning more about personal finance, be sure to check out my other videos. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and comment below to let me know what you thought of the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future uploads. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.